Hello, my name is Krista Marie Garcia, and I go to University of the Rio Grande Valley. I am an exercise major with a focus in physical therapy. Today I'm going to be going over 3 different assessments and protocols, including verbal cues. Firstly, we're going to be going over the high-low assessment, followed by the plumb line assessment, and lastly we're going to be going over rolling patterns.
The patient will first begin by sitting down comfortably by placing their hand on their upper chest and one on their abdomen. The hand on the upper abdomen should rise before the hand on the chest. Additionally, the hand on the chest should move slightly forward and not upward towards the chin. This assessment is to correct the breathing patterns and possible problems that may be assessed. They will do 10 breathing cycles, and that way you have enough time to fully see their hand movements. This photo right here allows us to clearly see that the basic plumb line found in a red line is where the alignments of the body should be when we're standing up correctly. So this sagittal view is a client standing sideways, and we're going to be going down the checklist, meaning we're going to be starting from the head, going all the way to the bottom to truly see where we're supposed to be lining up. Afterwards, we're going to be comparing this to a different person and to see and going through each checkpoint that we can do, including verbal cues. So now beginning at the top, we're going to be seeing that the plumb line is going to be going through the lobe of the ears. Then we're going to be making our way right down, right under the neck, where you can see it's going to be going through the shoulder joint. As we're going past the rib cage, we're going to be going into the hip joint. It's going to be directly going through the hip joint, almost exactly in a straight line, and you're going to be following that line all the way to the femur. And then you're going to be looking into the midline of the knee. Once you start getting to the bottom, we're going to be going through the center of the ankle joint. As you can tell, the bottom where the ankle joint is, it is not directly on top of the ankle, but in the front. It's not located in the back, it's a little bit slightly forward. So here we have a client that is going to be standing up at a sagittal view, meaning sideways. And we're looking at his posture. We're going to be seeing him that he's in a barefoot stance and he's wearing semi-fitted clothes. That way we can truly see where his basic plumb line assessment is going to be, which is also known as posture. So if you can see as our client, he has slightly drooped shoulders where he's going to be leaning slightly forward, which is very common. Then, since as you can see on his lower body part, where his femur is right here, he's slightly forward, leaning forward, not giving himself where he should be leaning, where his heels are. So here we're going to be going over to see what we can fix. So I'm going to give you a few cues and you're going to be following them just in case we can fix your posture and see what we can enhance. So I'm going to be wanting you to tuck in your chin a little bit. So keep looking forward and tuck in your chin. Then we're going to be going into, while you're tucking in your chin, stand or sit as straight as possible. Then I'm going to want you to create as much width between your shoulders as much as possible, almost like as if you're widening them up. Then align your rib cage over your pelvis, meaning your chest should be where your hips are versus forward or back. Then I want you to gently contract your glute muscles to make sure that you're standing up correctly. Then lastly, I want you to lock your rib cage on top of your pelvis. So now look straight up. There you go. And his posture is much more improved than it originally was. Here I am demonstrating the beginning position to be starting off with the rolling pattern assessment. I'm in supine position, meaning I'm laying down directly onto my back with my legs shoulder width apart or slightly outer, then with my arms directly above me. Starting with my right leg, I'm going to be using, with no arms, my legs to roll onto my belly. Then I'm going to be doing the opposite to go onto my back. I'm using my legs to guide me to roll over, again right there, and then I'm going to be going back. So keep in mind that I'm going to be in a supine position with my legs straight that are going to be slightly abducted. So they're not going to be fully straight out. And my arms are going to be still overhead and slightly abducted as well. I'm not forcing anything, I'm just letting you see how it's supposed to be nice and smooth with the rolling patterns and the proper cues to help somebody that doesn't know how to do the assessment go through it without any hesitations or confusion. So just go with no help from your arms, roll onto your belly by using your legs. Now we're going to be leading to doing the assessment by using our arms. We're still going to be in the same exact position as we were before. However, we're going to be leading with our arms, meaning with no help of your legs, you're going to be rolling onto your belly by using your arms and back and forth. The reason that I'm demonstrating these different kinds of rolling patterns using our arms and our legs, it reveals proper recruitment and sequencing of core stabilizers. Our deeper trunk stabilizers, it includes our transversus abdominis, our multifundus, our diaphragm, pelvic floor, followed by a lot of recruitment of more superficial or global muscles, including multiple like internal and external obliques, rectus abdominis, quadris. There's so many different things that it's looking for and breaking down for us. That way we can actually really see and go step by step for everything. Because as infants, we roll with relatively smooth transitions from 6 to 8 months, but the pattern may become altered later in life due to mobility defects or insufficient core stabilization patterns. And that is the reasoning behind why we do rolling patterns. That way we can identify if we need to change anything, modify anything due to past life situations or anything like that.
I want to say thank you for watching the entirety of my video. All the information that was provided in the video and verbal cues to the protocols, to the assessments, to the step-by-step processes that I was able to do a video on was based on the ACSM's guidelines, and that was very helpful and informational, and I hope it was for you as it was for me. And thank you so much, and go vaqueros!